Honourable Members, I desire to report that when the House did attend His Excellency the Governor-General this day in the Legislative Council chamber, His Excellency was pleased to make a speech, the text of which was handed to me by His Excellency, and I now lay such text upon the table of the House. Are there any petitions?
The petition of Edwina Hughes and 904 others requesting that the House urge the Government to engage with like-minded governments committed to abolishing nuclear weapons to start a process of negotiating a nuclear weapons convention.
Are there any papers?
Annual reports for 2010 to 2011 from the Accident Compensation Corporation, the Alcohol Advisory Council, Arts Council of New Zealand, Creative New Zealand, the Cadastral Surveyors Licensing Board, the Careers Service Rapura, the Charities Commission, the Children's Commissioner, the Civil Aviation Authority of New Zealand, the Crown Health Financing Agency, the Crown Law Office, the Department of Building and Housing, the Department of Conservation, the Department of Corrections, the Department of Labour, the Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet, the Electricity Authority, the Electoral Commission, the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Fund, the Environmental Risk Management Agency, the Equal Employment Opportunities Trust, the Families Commission, the Gambling Commission, the Government Superannuation Fund Actuarial Evaluation, the Eastern, Central, South Island, Hawke's Bay, North Canterbury, Otago, Taranaki, Southland, West Coast, Wellington and the New Zealand Fish and Game Councils, the Health and Disability Commissioner, the Health Sponsorship Council, the Health Research Council, Housing New Zealand, the Human Rights Commission, the Independent Police Conduct Authority, the Inland Revenue Department, the Department of Internal Affairs, Land Information New Zealand, the Leadership Development Centre Trust, the Legal Services Agency, the Licensing Authority of Second-Hand Dealers and Pawnbrokers, the Maori Trustee, the Mental Health Commission, the Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry, the Ministry of Culture and Heritage, the Ministry of Defence, the Ministry of Economic Development, the Ministry of Education, Ministry for the Environment, the Ministry of Fisheries, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade, the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Justice, the Ministry of Pacific Island Affairs, the Ministry of Science and Innovation, the Ministry of Social Development, the Ministry of Transport, the Ministry of Women's Affairs, Museum of New Zealand, Te Papa Tongarewa, New Zealand Artificial Limb Board, New Zealand Fire Service Commission, New Zealand Game Bird Habitat Trust, New Zealand Government Property Corporation, New Zealand Historic Places Trust, the New Zealand Lottery Grants Board, the New Zealand Qualifications Authority, the New Zealand Police, New Zealand Trade and Enterprise, New Zealand Transport Agency and the National Land Transport Fund, the Office of the Film and Literature Classification, the Pharmaceutical Management Agency of New Zealand, the Privacy Commissioner, the Public Trust, together with reports from 2009 and 2010, the Remuneration Authority, the Retirement Commissioner, the Administrator of Tokelau, the Securities Commission, the Serious Fraud Office, the Social Workers Registration Board, the Standards Council of New Zealand, the State Services Commission, the Tertiary Education Commission, Te Puni Kōkiri, the Treasury, Tourism New Zealand and the Transport Accident Investigation Commission. In a report of the Attorney-General under the New Zealand Bill of Rights Act 1990 on the Prisoners and Victims Claims Redirecting Prisoner Compensation Amendment Bill, the Government response to the report of the Health Committee on the inquiry into early detection and treatment of prostate cancer, the financial statements of the Government of New Zealand for the year ended 30 June 2011, the Canterbury Earthquakes Royal Commission Interim Report, October 2011, and the Pre-Election Fiscal and Economic Update 2011.
I hereby present the following reports. Annual reports of the Abortion Supervisory Committee 2011 and two reports of the Controller and Auditor General, Central Government results of the 2010-11 Audits Volume 1 and Education Sector results of the 2010-11 Audits. Those papers are published under the authority of the House. Are there any select committee reports?
Report of the Business Committee on the recommended sitting programme for 2012.
That report is set down for consideration. Are there any bills for introduction? There are no bills for introduction. The Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr Speaker, I move that Eric Wilbur Roy be appointed